Oh, we're recording. Hello everyone, David here. I thought I'd give an update on the house build. I've had a few people ask me how things are going. Right now we are in what I call a holding pattern until March 5th. The land we want to buy is zoned agricultural and it needs to be rezoned to residential before they'll let us build a house or put my shop or whatever on there. So on March 5th, there will be a city council meeting. Everyone says there should be no problem getting this rezoned. The people we are buying the land from had to send out a letter to all the property owners within a 300-foot radius in case anybody had any objections to another house going up. Good thing is, everyone that was sent the letter is good friends with the people we are buying the land from. And then on a funny side note, there is a cemetery pretty much right next to our property that we're wanting to buy, and they had to send a letter to the cemetery. So if any of those people decide to, object to anything, it would sure make for some interesting neighbors. So while we're waiting for all this to go through, we decided we need to fix some things around our current house because we're going to have to eventually sell it. My current house is over 50 years old and the drain pipes are cast iron pipes in concrete foundation. With cast iron pipes comes rust. We knew where the bad place was, so I rented a concrete saw and cut out a 2x2 square piece of concrete. So once we got the concrete out, we saw the problem and it was worse than what we thought it was going to be. We kept cutting more concrete out and it was still bad. Cutting out more concrete and it was like, oh man, this is really bad. I was getting pretty upset. I think at one time I was about ready to cry because I was just like, this is way too much for me to do. So my friend that was helping me, he said, hey, why don't you call your insurance company and see if they'll do anything? So I called them up, and this was on like a Saturday afternoon, and boom, they take care of everything except for my deductible. I was so happy, praise God. I was so happy. So I had to call a real plumber to come out and look at everything, and he had to do his measuring and everything, give me a quote. I got with the insurance company and everything. And so after all that time, it was probably 2 weeks since then, and he finally came out. So when they came out, these people here showed up. And while these people were doing their thing, the plumber was in the kitchen doing his thing. So now all the required concrete was removed from what I call my eBay room, which is actually an old bedroom that's next to the kitchen. And all the concrete was removed from the kitchen, exposing the rusted pipe. Here's a piece of the pipe that I removed. You can see that brown stuff that's curving, that is tree roots that got in the line and grow. And that's what clogged up the pipe. I didn't get any pictures of the pipe actually in the ground, just that piece there. So once we got all that out of there, the plumber installed some new Schedule 40 pipe in there. This goes all the way from the laundry through the kitchen, underneath the wall, into what I call my eBay room, over to another wall where it hooks onto a main sewer pipe in the house, more of like a 3-inch big line, so it drains into that. That line was okay, even though it is metal, but it's bigger. And after we got all of that put in, I had my friend that helped me out at first, helping me saw the concrete and taking it out. He came over and we put concrete in, Quikrete, 21 bags of Quikrete. Since my house was a mess already from all the concrete dust and moving everything around, floor pieces, tearing out cabinets and everything, yeah, I didn't mind bringing in a concrete mixer into the house and mixing concrete. It didn't bother me at all because it needed to be done and that seemed to be the faster way to do it. As you can see, we got all the concrete down. We let it dry overnight and pretty much a whole other day past that. And then I got to go buy new kitchen cabinets and a countertop to get them put in. Well, with my house being so old, nothing is straight, nothing is level. So it was a pain in the rear end to get these cabinets up against the wall, get them level left and right, front and back, and at the normal height that they should be at. But we finally got them in there, got it all straightened up, as you can see from these pictures here. Then once we got the cabinets in, we got to get new floor put in. And of course, because if you're drilling into the concrete in the floor, it tears your floor up, and we couldn't find anything that matched. So we got a new floor in the eBay room, and we got a new floor in the kitchen, and decided to go ahead and pay extra and go ahead and get a new floor in the dining room, because it was some really old linoleum that was in there. So we got that replaced. Then once we got all that back in and finally had a kitchen sink after about a month without having one, or a dishwasher, it's a pain in the butt. You don't realize how much you rely on a dishwasher and a sink. And eating out, because our stove was not in place either, so it's either microwave dinners or fast food. But once we got all that done, it's time to get the house back in order. It sure was a mess. So now things are pretty much back in order, and I can start to work on the rest of the little things that need to be done around here to get the house ready to sell. Now these aren't big things, as my house is over 50 years old and it shows it. But with my OCD, these are little things that just bug me. Fixing these things won't add to the value of the house, but it'll help the house to sell when it comes time. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope to get more videos up now that I'm not trying to get my house in livable order. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And until next time, see ya!